Okay, so today, these problems look a lot like the ones we did 2 days ago with the apothem, but this is not giving you the apothem. It's giving you the radius, which is to the corners, to the vertexes of the polygon. So I'm going to go ahead and complete these triangles. And here, what you'll have, since it's a hexagon, you will have 6 angles in the middle, so each one of those will be 60, and that creates 3 60, 60, 60 angles, okay? Well, what they're giving you is this side right here. So they're already giving you the side. So we already know that the perimeter is going to be 10 times 6, which is 60. So now we have to go out and find the apothem. So the apothem is going to be this distance right here from the center of each triangle down to the middle of the other side, right? Well, we know that this side, whole side is 10, so this side here is 5. And we have a 5 and a 10, and now we need to find the one in the middle. So it's a 30, 60, 90 again. Remember, this turns into a 30 because we've cut it in half. So 30, 60, 90, 1 root 3, 2. And we've got opposite the 30, we have a 5. And opposite the 60 is what we want. So we don't really need that 10, but you can use the 10 if you want. The 10 goes opposite the 90. And you can use any two of these fractions with the one with the x to solve it. So here would be 5 root 3 equals x. So we know that the apothem is 5 root 3. Now we just put them all in the formula. 1/2. The perimeter is 60 times 5 root 3. And we find out what that is in the calculator. And the answer is 259.81. So just make sure you look and see what they're giving you so you can see how to solve it. You still solve them the same ways, they're just giving you different parts of the equation. So here they're giving you the radius, which is the distance between this vertex. They're giving you this right here. So if I draw the other one here, and I draw this one here, what we get are 3 triangles, and since the whole amount in the center has to be 360, each one is going to be 120. So if you look, we have 120 here, and then these two are going to be equal sides because we know that those sides are equal because everything is regular in these problems. So if we have 180 degrees total, we have 60 more degrees to go, so we have to divvy them up between these two, okay? Well, I need the apothem. Let me put that in blue. I need this apothem. Well, look at what we get. We get a triangle, and we know this is 30. Well, this is going to be half of 120, which is 60 again. Look familiar? And we've got a right triangle, and we need this guy. And we have the radius, which is this guy over here, which is 14 root 3 over 3. And don't be afraid of the number. It's not that big a deal. We can figure it out, okay? Okay, so again, we have a 30, 60, 90. 1 root 3, 2. Excuse my dog. He is out of sorts. And then the x would go under the 30. But do you see why the 14 root 3 over 3 goes under the 90? You can also cut that in half and put it here, which would be 7 root 3 over 3, but it doesn't matter. So now we have 2x equals 14 root 3 over 3. And when we divide that by 2, that is your apothem, which you can actually leave like that if you're real careful, but I would just change that to x equals 14 root 3 over 6, which is 7 root 3 over 3. Now, in order to find the perimeter, we need to find this piece right here, which is this piece right here. Let's make that a y. Which is this piece right there, because then we can double it to find the sides of this triangle, or to times it by 6, because there's 6 of those. So we're going to put that, that's opposite the 60. We're going to put that right there. We're going to put the y right there. So now we do that math, and we cross multiply, and we get 2y equals 14. Because when you multiply root 3 by 14 root 3 over 3, these two are going to turn into a 3, and they're going to cancel with the guy downstairs. So it's going to be equal to 14. So y equals 7. So we put a 7 here. Well, if that's a 7 there, then each of these sides are 14, because it's 2 of those on each side. So we have area equals 1/2 the perimeter times the apothem. We know the apothem is 7 root 3 over 3, so we have 1/2, and we know that the perimeter is 6 of these little guys, or 3 14s, which is 42, times 7 root 3 over 3, and we put that in our calculator. And we get that our answer is 84.87, which is correct. Okay, so when we have a square, we're going to go ahead and draw our 4 triangles here. And if you notice, there's 4 angles meeting at the middle. That means each one of those is a 90-degree angle, because 360 divided by 4 is 190. So I'm going to draw that triangle out here. Let me put the area equals 1/2 perimeter times apothem. So when I draw that triangle, I get a 90-degree triangle, and here these two angles have to be equal, so it's a 45, 45, 90. Well, we know that that's a 7. And we're going to draw our apothem down this way. And we need to find this guy, okay? Well, that guy and this guy are going to be the same in a 45, 45, 90, because now we have a 45 up here. So we do 45, 45, 90. And if you remember, it was 1, 1 root 2. And the x's are opposite the 45. So once we find one, we find the other one. And the 7 goes opposite the 90, because he's opposite this angle right here. Okay? So when we cross multiply, we get root 2 times x equals 7. So x equals 7 over root 2. And you can leave it like that, or you can multiply it by root 2 times root 2 and give 7 root 2 over 2 to get the radical out of the basement. But you can leave it like that because you're going to be using your calculator, so it doesn't matter. So not only is that the apothem, but that's this piece right here. So since there's 2 of those pieces, then this whole side is going to be 14 root 2 over 2, which is 7 root 2. So we've got the perimeter, we've got area equals 1/2. The perimeter is going to be 4 of these, so that's going to be 28 root 2. And the apothem is this guy times 7 root 2 over 2. We're going to put all that in our calculator and see what we get. And we put all this in our calculator, we get that the area equals 98. It all came out real pretty because the 2 root 2's, when you multiply them together, turn into a 2, and everything turns into pretty numbers. So that's the area of that square. There's different ways to look at this. We've learned, of course, that the area of a square is side times side. So once we know that the sides are this, you can multiply that times itself, and that'll give you your 98 also. But we're using this formula, so just use this formula and follow it all the way through. Look at your triangle, see if it's a 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90, and put the numbers where they go, and just go from there. If you turn it all into decimals, I mean, leave it in radical form and you'll get a better answer. But if you turn it all into decimals and round, I will accept that instead of having all these radicals. But that's just because I'm not there with you guys to help you. So try to do these and call me for help. Thank you.